So recently I watched a video about Bogans and their love and interest in vehicles, specifically trucks. I also learned a while ago about the Ute and it's how much of an icon of Australian motor vehicles it is. And one of my viewers asked me if I would watch this. It's called These Are All the Amazing Australian Trucks and SUVs That We Can't Buy. So I think that's actually referring to America. So like these are trucks that you can only get in Australia. I know that trucks, I'm from the UK, trucks are not really that popular, I think because we've got small roads, small towns, cities and so on. I know Australia is a big part of the culture, having these big vehicles, same in America. The only country I've been to where there's a similar is actually Thailand. Parts of Thailand, everybody drives big Hilux trucks. So looking forward to seeing this. Tell me if you've owned a truck in Australia, why you would own that over anything else. Is there any very unique ones you've owned? Let's watch this and see some more.
Hey guys, this is Andre coming to you straight from Noosa Heads, Queensland, Australia. And I'm here and basically in Truckers Paradise. And I just wanted to give you a quick walk around and show you some of the vehicles here, but also show
What
you
even
some
was that? Was that like
images
a half a caravan? I've never seen that thing before.
and show you some of the vehicles
I guess it's like the roof can be extended or something. Again, that's the first time I've ever seen a thing, caravan type thing you can do that with.
here, but
Pretty
also
interesting.
show you some images and video clips of the pickup trucks I saw here just around town. Actually, all of the trucks I'm about to show you are forbidden
What kind of
fruit.
vehicles are they?
They're not
Mitsubishi?
available for sale in the United States. And I'm going to start with Toyota. Toyota is the most popular manufacturer in terms of sales in Australia, and one of the most popular vehicles here is the Toyota Hilux Ute. Basically a mid-sized pickup truck that's loosely related to the Toyota Tacoma that's available stateside. Most of the trucks I saw were powered by a 2.8 liter turbo diesel 4-cylinder. When you convert the power ratings from kilowatts and newton meters, it approximately puts out 176 horsepower and up to 332 pound-feet of torque. But there is a forbidden fruit that is sweeter even than the Hilux,
Whoa,
and I'm
that
talking
thing.
about the Land Cruiser 70. And there's several of them you can actually buy currently from a dealership. And it comes either in a two-door chassis cab pickup truck version, also available as a four-door, but also available as a full SUV body truck. And it's
That thing is actually so interesting. Again, I've seen a lot of Hiluxes in Thailand. I've never seen one like this. This looks like the vehicle representation of a mullet. Maybe the opposite. They always say it's like, what, business up front, party at the back. This is like the opposite. This is the business at the back, the party up front with the power. It's a pretty cool car, but it's just very, like, it just looks odd because that back part's so small. Is there a reason why that's so small? Does it have any real benefit why you
basically an
would
old
buy that?
design with new technology sprinkled throughout it. So if you look at the interior, there's a modern design to the steering wheel, to the dashboard, and it has airbags. But under the hood of this beast is a 4.5 liter turbocharged diesel
Power
V8 engine, and it also comes with a 5-speed manual transmission. How cool is that? You're basically getting old design with a little bit of a modern touch, but also a very tough and capable off-roader. Here's a quick look at one Land Cruiser I saw towing a trailer. Many trucks and SUVs around Noosa Heads were actually towing. Of course,
So is that the reason people get these big vehicles? Is it because there's like obviously people in Australia, from what I've learned, have this very outdoor lifestyle. So things like this, going traveling, hiking, going far distances into the kind of more wilderness and things. Is that why people have these big vehicles? And like, what's they cost? I would have thought these things were like very expensive to buy and to run, but are they more affordable because there's a bigger supply of them in Australia?
not to be forgotten, Ford is a big player in Australia, and I saw dozens and dozens of Ford Rangers running around. Anything from an older crew cab to a brand new Wild Track model with a snorkel and an off-road bumper in the front. And here's the thing, Manufacturers like Ford understand the need, and they're offering all of these accessories from the factory, including the snorkel. Naturally, in Australia, the Ford Ranger truck lineup comes with a choice of turbo diesel engines. It starts with a 2.2 liter diesel with about 250 pound-feet of torque or thereabouts, and then it goes to a 3.2 liter diesel, and this is the engine I saw in Australia the most in a Ford Ranger, and now this torque is around 350 pound-feet of torque. Pretty much every truck I saw had a hitch, and the towing rating for most of these mid-sized trucks is actually 3,500 kilograms. It converts to about 7,700 pounds, and this is with a towing package with the most powerful engine configuration, and that's a really good towing number. But most noteworthy is the payload. Most of these utes, which are considered mid-size in the United States, have a payload of over 2,000 pounds. They could be half-ton trucks by the American standard. Some of the other trucks I saw were
Yeah, so Ford Ranger and Hilux, they're probably the most common ones here in Asia as well. Those are probably the two cars or the two pickup trucks that you see driving most commonly. I don't really see much apart from them, honestly. But yeah, it's just interesting how much people who buy these, what sort of percentage actually use them like off-road and like that snorkel in the car. Like, is there actually any real need that people use? I know there's like a lot of flooding sometimes in parts of Australia, so it would have that necessity. Is it just a nice to have thing? Also, again, like I guess a lot of like trade workers might have these sort of vehicles to carry their tools and all that. Is that like is that the sort of target market for these vehicles?
the Mazda BT50, the VW Amarok, and the Mitsubishi Triton trucks. And these are from used trucks all the way to brand new vehicles as well. So all of these trucks we do not get in the United States, hence the forbidden fruit.
I wonder why you don't get
really
these
wanted
in
to spend
America.
more time checking out some of these trucks, including, of course, the Ford Ranger Raptor. I just didn't have enough time on this particular trip. I'm originally from Russia, and I remember seeing back in the 90s many different Nissan Patrol and Land Cruiser vehicles in and around Moscow, and I was really happy to see some of those vehicles also in Australia. And I'm talking about 90s and 2000s era Nissan Patrols that are always beefed up.
Still in
and
very
they
good
either
condition
have
as
a
well.
straight six gas engine. Some of them are also powered by diesels, and a lot of Land Cruisers, including Prado and regular full-size Land Cruiser as well. And a lot of them actually have towing mirrors in addition to all the other equipment for off-roading. So a lot of them are actually towing camping trailers, and everything is really safety oriented with large towing mirrors and proper trailer setups. This is a Land Cruiser Prado. It's a Toyota, it's an older one, and a lot of the trucks you see here in Australia are actually diesel powered, and I imagine this one has a diesel under its hood as well. But here I just wanted to show you a mod that's basically on most pickup trucks, SUVs, or as they call trucks here, utes. It's basically a brush guard, cow bar, cow catcher, and a lot of them are very beefy, and a lot of them
That's huge, so thick.
are attached to their trucks because of necessity, because there's a lot of wildlife here, and basically most roads here are dirt. In fact, half of the roads in Australia overall are dirt and gravel roads.
Is that true?
So if
Seems
you're
high.
going into
Maybe
wilderness,
maybe the more
you need to
outback
protect
regions.
the front of your truck, and in this case, it's a brush guard. After seeing
That is, like, I actually think it's very cool, man. These vehicles are so nice just to look at, but the functionality of them in all these different conditions, it's like pretty cool. So yeah, tell me if you've owned one of these. But he's talking about how they're set up for like towing some of them. Is that common? Do a lot of people have like caravans, things, trailers, and like to go out and stay in the wilderness? Is that like a common hobby for people to have? Is that why you would buy one of these cars as
all
well?
of these trucks, I quickly noticed a pattern as far as modifications are concerned. Just take a look at this older Grand Cherokee. By the way, I did not see too many Jeeps in Queensland. But a snorkel, it's not just for water crossings, it's also to help with dust. Since a lot of the roads are gravel or dirt, a snorkel helps a lot with getting cleaner air
Okay,
in those
that's cool.
conditions.
Interesting.
Here's another common modification. It's a roof rack and an awning. This is an older Mitsubishi Pajero, also known as a Montero in the United States. And here's another Pajero I noticed, and this is a rare thing. It's completely stock. Just take a look at that. I just wish we still had Mitsubishi Monteros available in the US. Here's a Hyundai Santa Fe. Yes, we do get this car in the US, but not what's under the hood of this particular one. This is a diesel-powered Santa Fe, and of course, it has a brush guard on the front of it. Here's another crossover that's disappeared from the United States. This Suzuki Vitara is showcasing, of course, an additional off-road light up front and an awning. It gets really hot in Australia in the summer, so any shade you can get is a good thing.
So I can see like already, like, I mean, there's a Volkswagen here, but a lot of these are Japanese. We've got Hyundai, so we've got Korean vehicles as well. I guess Australia's proximity to those countries means that we can get a lot of different models that maybe don't get exported to America. Or why would they not? I guess America does take in a lot of Japanese and Korean cars, but why would they have specific cars that only get sold in Australia? Is it the conditions and the necessity in those places for them as well?
Switching gears for just a second, check out this VW Transporter camper van that slammed to the ground. But of course it has an awning, and it is a 4Motion all-wheel drive van. No, I did not forget about Nissan. I actually saw a lot of Navara trucks. Of course they're called Frontier in the US, but here is a mildly modified newer Navara, and I think this is what the next Frontier may look like, at least remotely in the US. But this truck's sporting a off-road light bar in the front, a little bit of a lift, and of course a sports bar in the back. How about General Motors? Well, the Chevy Colorado is actually a Holden Colorado in Australia, and here's a Z71 4x4 truck I noticed, and it has a very unique rear sports bar slash spoiler setup with a tonneau cover. Very neat looking truck, but mostly stock. Enough with
Oh, there we go,
four-wheel
man.
drive
This is the one.
trucks. How about the real Australian Utes? Well, here's a Holden Ute SV6. I didn't see too many of these, but of course they are there. These
That's
are
very
basically
cool.
the sport trucks of Australia. This happens to be a 6-cylinder, but it's sporting a hitch and it's ready to tow. It's got a tonneau cover, it's got a sports bar, and here you go. Here's another one
Whoa.
on dubs.
Woohoo.
How cool
Those
is
rims,
that?
man.
High performance Utes, of course, are a big thing in Australia as well.
I mean, comparing to that first vehicle, look at the size of the back part of it, man. Is like
And
so
switching
big,
gears
so
to the
different.
end, here's another look at a tray utility bed. Here's another very common sight
is the
here
one,
in
actually.
Australia. Basically a tray bed on a pickup truck, and it can be for work or even for play with a little camper or maybe a tent or maybe a dog kennel in the back. I've seen it all in just about a couple days here. Really fun stuff. This, once again, is a Hilux 2.8 D4D, so this is one of the more modern ones. And I hope you enjoyed this little look into the trucks of Australia. I'm really excited. I haven't spent a lot of time here. I'm a little bit upset that I wasn't able to stay longer, but I really want to come back, and you can be sure I'll be back here. So go back to TFL Off-Road.
Yeah, cool. I'm amazed by the huge variety of vehicles there. I guess it makes sense if they're so commonly used, and if there's a lot of different reasons in Australia why people would use these, if it's like for hobbying or for work and different things. So they need that kind of versatility in the different offerings for each one. But I mean, they all look cool, especially the real authentic Ute. That's just like one of the most unique vehicles you'll find. But tell me what you think about them. Have you owned any of them? Do you own any of them? What reason did you have for buying this sort of vehicle specifically? Thanks.